So I would like to thank the people at Keymailer for hitting me up with a key for F1 Manager 2022, but I'd also like to say that I personally can't get on with this game. I've given it a good try, I've played for a few hours, and no matter what I do, everything goes wrong. Every single race. And I'm not saying it should be the case where nothing ever goes wrong. It's a simulator. You are being the manager of an F1 team. There are going to be issues every now and then. But when you are not telling your teammates to be, or your drivers to be aggressive, and then they're crashing into each other, and when there is just absolutely no progression in the team itself, it doesn't matter how long you keep the car the same, it doesn't matter on anything, the confidence of the driver in that car is always really low. When I started this game, I chose Mercedes. I chose Lewis Hamilton as one of my drivers. I jumped in, and in my very first race, Hamilton did alright, Russell did quite bad. Then the following race, it completely switched around. And absolutely every single race, without fail, something will go wrong. They'll either crash, their car will lock up, and I'm upgrading the facilities, I'm researching new parts, so new front wings, rear wings, suspension, side pods, all that sort of stuff. I feel as though I'm not doing necessarily bad as a manager, but it just feels like the team is always driving really poorly. I'm using the different strategies and management mechanics to conserve your tire condition and to conserve your fuel and everything like that, just so that you can have a better race, you can push at different times and all that sort of stuff, and it just goes wrong every single race without fail. I'm not personally going to sit there for an entire 63 laps on one-time speed, making sure everything is going right. But when I've got my team set to balanced, so they're not set to push, they're not set to sit back too much, I'm following a race strategy of having to pit between laps 16 and 23 or something like that. When it's everything's balanced and there's no aggression and there's no defensiveness, I don't expect to put it onto 16 times game speed and everything just go wrong. That's all that seems to happen. And no matter what I do in qualifying, if you simulate it, the computer always does better for your team. Not only that, I found that the drivers can be incredibly greedy. It doesn't matter what you do to try and renew the contract, it never gets renewed. Or that's how I found it for the Mercedes team starting my game, because ever since doing really bad in the racing, Russell was starting to get frustrated, the morale dropped. So I upgraded a few of the facilities within the team, and I also went to renew his contract. Granted, he still had 4 years on his current contract, but I wanted to renew it another 4 years, give him a race bonus, give him a lump sum bonus just straight away, and I kept trying to increase his salary, to which he would not accept. And when I say he would not accept, he was currently on, I think it was $2,310,000, and I put it up maybe 100 or 200,000, and that was his only issue. Nothing to do with the contract that he's currently got, nothing to do with the lump sum bonus, absolutely everything went green. He was ready to go with everything besides his salary. So I went back, I revisited, I sent another contract, it also got declined. I ended up putting Russell up $500,000 from his $2.3 million salary to a $2.8 million salary, and the motherfucker still declined. How can you turn down an extra $500,000 a year and get a lump sum bonus and get a position bonus? And I didn't even set it that high, I set it to 5th or better in the race, and he gets an extra $250,000. The specific thing that come up with why he turned it down was that the salary was not enough for him. He was only on 2.3, I offered him 2.8, and he turned it down. I don't like the idea of going into a game and having to pay your drivers a shitload of extra money just to get them to renew a contract. They shouldn't even need renewing. They should be happy to be part of the team. If they are not getting high positions, that's their fault. You have the team and everything, but when your car is set up good, when your team is doing well, when the communication's there, when it's just a matter of how the driver ends up on the grid at the end of the race, that's down to the driver. If there's no issues with the car, if you followed the strategy, if the team has set out a good strategy that's won races before, then that's a problem on the driver. So morale shouldn't be down. And I did absolutely everything to boost it, and it just didn't make a difference. And I kept the car the same. I changed things around with the car, and the confidence from the drivers, like relating to the car, never improved. Every single race I played, without fail, something went drastically wrong. And it went as, like, from my very first race this happened, and it went all the way up to my drivers on standard, like, aggression, crashing into each other. Mercedes is, like, one of the best in the world. Lewis Hamilton is one of the best Formula 1 drivers in the world. So why is it when I manage the team, I don't think it's me? There's a possibility it's me and my managing, but I'm pretty sure it's nothing to do with that. I don't get this game. I've tried with it. I just don't enjoy what I've played of it because, as I said, every single race, without fail, something will go wrong. I can't push up to get, like, podium finishes. That's not an option for me. Looking at the league standings after, like, 4 or 5 races, you've got Ferrari up there with over 150 points in the championship. And you've got little old Mercedes not even passing 40. I think the most amount of points I've ever had from one race from one of my drivers was 13 or 12. But the thing is as well, being Mercedes, it's like there's good quality, like really good quality there. Yet it always seemed to be that one driver would end high on the grid and one would be at the back. You would never have a race where my drivers were 4th and 5th or 3rd and 4th. It would always be one is like 5th and one is 16th, or one is 7th and one is 13th, or something like that. It's crazy how this game works. Maybe it is just me entirely, and I don't understand how to be a Formula 1 manager. But I don't think that's the case. I've done plenty of it. One thing I really do like about this game, actually, because I'm not going to leave this video without mentioning it, this game has red flags. There was a bad crash, and like the graphics of the little cutscenes they do isn't the greatest. The cars are very jumpy and things like that, but there was a red flag. There was a crash on the track. They stopped the race entirely, gave a 20-minute window to change things up, and then got us underway. I was able to be cheeky and chuck some softs on for the remaining laps, and I thought that was a really, really good feature, especially after hearing that F1 22, the actual one where you're racing, doesn't have the red flag feature. So a nice touch. There is a lot of depth to the game. It's not a fault of the game, it's not buggy, it's not bad, it's not a state or anything like that. It's just that I personally cannot get on with it. I didn't get as much enjoyment out of it as I would have liked. And yes, that is possibly my own doing, my own fault. But who knows? What we're going to do is leave that video there. Let me know your thoughts and stuff about it in the comments. Check out this video if you want to see F1 Manager 2022. And I'll see you in the next video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.